Hey guys, what is up? Hope everybody has been having a great day. I have a super special video for you guys today. The front nine at Carnoustie Golf Links, arguably one of the hardest golf courses in the world, and it sure was a treat to play. If you guys enjoyed this video, please be sure to click the like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new here. I want to give a shout out to Tom Phillips, one of the pros at Carnoustie, for giving me an invite. This was just absolutely one of the favorite courses I've ever played in my life. And it was very early in the morning, and it was chilly and windy, and so it was a tremendous test. And I had a few other people playing with me as well, so it was nice to kind of just hang out with everybody and get to play one of the best courses in the world. And I am being introduced to the tall grass very early, so always a challenge. But I hit a really great chip shot here. And I felt like this was a very important shot because it kind of put me in a good position to having a good look at par. And I knew it'd be very important for me to start off with a solid par here, just get the round off to a nice start. And I made a very good stroke and just brushed that right in. So that felt really good. Now into the second hole, and you guys can see those famous pot bunkers. And it was truly just a lot of fun. And I just love that challenge of playing a course that is very difficult and obviously in the British Open Rota. So decided to go with a 1-iron here. And if that doesn't tell you how tough these conditions are, I don't know what does. A flush 1-iron only going 240. It was pretty much straight into the wind here and pulled it a bit left. And I want to be clear, I understand that this course can play way harder because they can let that rough really grow. So I know I didn't necessarily catch it on its toughest day, but it was still a very good challenge. And so you can see here, got the 8-iron from 208, and a bit of a flyer lie here, and the wind's blowing really hard off the left into the face. So I flighted it down, but I also knew that taking a shorter swing would take spin off, which would help the ball cut through the wind. I think just landed on the front edge of the green and ran out to the back right edge. So really felt like I did well to put myself on the green, give myself a chance for birdie. And have about probably 45, 50 feet here, I would say. And one of the things that I had to get used to is the greens. And in Scotland, the greens are typically slower because when you have a lot of wind, you can't have fast greens because if you had fast greens, the wind would blow the ball everywhere on the green. So being from a northern part of America where greens are running pretty fast, that was something I had to adjust to. But it was very fun to experience a different style of golf. And you can see just really incredible panorama, an absolutely beautiful course. And I'm really glad I got to play it on a tough day because I think that's what, Scottish golf is. It's, tough weather and wind, rain, that's all part of it. And so I decided to go for the green here as a drivable par 4, pulled it left, but fortunately for me, I pulled it left in a good spot and carried the creek. So no harm, no foul here. Not a bad spot to miss. And have a headwind here, so that actually played in my favor because it would make it a lot easier to hold this green. So I just went ahead and played this maybe at a 65-yard shot. I played it about 80 and just let it get caught in the wind and kind of hang back. And this thing was in the air forever. But got a nice little rollout and felt really good about this shot. And had about 12, 15 feet left for birdie. And also, just so you guys know, I literally had flown in from Maryland to Scotland like the day before this, so I was experiencing some brutal jet lag. But definitely kind of did my best to shake it off for this round. Didn't give it a very good run here, and that's one of the things I know I need to work on more is giving my birdie putts, more of a run. So tapped in for par, and I'm honestly very happy starting off even through 3. And I do have to thank my playing partners. I was playing with one of the club champions, and then Tom, one of the pros I shouted out. They were helping me with my lines and stuff. If they hadn't been giving me that help, I think there's no chance I would have played as well as I did because it's very tough to figure out, what lines to take. So they were giving me a little bit of the local knowledge, which was always helpful. I had a really good drive here and actually went a little bit right, but I smoked it. and ended up on the tee box of one of the other holes. And so had 65 yards. And this is actually a really tough shot. Had to clip it off the fairway, well, the tee box, which was even tighter than the fairway. So that's always tough. But hit a really solid shot here. And yeah, worked out pretty good. I gave myself a very good look at birdie. And so I think it's, about 12 feet away. And as you guys can tell, it has been raining the entire time. So that's always fun. And I'm just impressed that my phone was able to hold up to the weather. That was a little bit of a concern, but it ended up working out really good. So I have this for birdie. And again, just not a very good putt. And I don't know why. I feel like I almost felt a little intimidated by the golf course. Because I'm sure everybody remembers John Van de Velde. For those of you who aren't familiar, if you guys want to watch probably the most infamous meltdown in golf history, or at least one of them for sure, look up John Van de Velde 1999 on YouTube. And at this course, he needed, I believe it was a double bogey to win the British Open on the last hole. And he took a 7, and then so he tied and then lost in a playoff. And so that's kind of my memory of it, plus in America especially, one of our nicknames for this course is Carnoustie because it's, just so difficult. So I think I was a little bit intimidated by the course on some level, but I really was standing up to it pretty well, and my swing was working really good. And it was just a great test of my ability to flight the ball. And as someone who creates a lot of speed, speed creates spin, and in wind, spin can be tough. So it was a nice test to see how well I could adapt my game. Hit a really good shot here, and I was able to ride the wind nicely. And went a little bit past the hole, but still a really good look at birdie. And as you guys can tell, the weather's been deteriorating more and more. So that was definitely something we had to continue to contend with. So, but again, rattling off a bunch of pars to start. Never a bad way to start, especially when you're playing from the tips at a course in the the British Open Rota. So I thought this would break a little more. So that was my first putt. I thought was okay. And one of the things I'm learning is I just got to get better at reading greens, man. I mean, it's bad. Like when I look back, I just realize how many shots I'm giving up. Now this is a really cool hole. It's called Hogan's Alley. That left side right there, that out of bounds is literally a yard left of the left edge of the fairway. And Ben Hogan was famous. It's called Hogan's Alley because if you get it up that left side, it makes this hole incredibly easy. And you literally chop off like 30 or 40 yards. And I believe all 4 rounds in the British Open when it was there when Hogan played, he got the ball up that left edge of the left center of the fairway 4 rounds in a row, which was an incredible achievement and one of the reasons he won the British that year. I don't remember which year it was, but I'm sure if you guys look up Hogan's Alley, it'll pop up. But because I'm not Ben Hogan, I hit it a little bit right, but just a little bit right of the burn. And so not a terrible position. And again, just trying to somehow play through this wind and do my best to figure it out. I hit a shot I really liked, but it landed on the front edge and ran all the way over the back. And definitely not the easiest pin location either. So I decided to take a lob wedge here and just kind of make a nice little dead hand shot and pretty much hit the exact chip I wanted to hit here. And gave myself a very, very short 3-footer for birdie, which I was able to brush in. So I was able to draw some blood finally and get a birdie, which felt really good because that was the first par 5 we faced. And again, you can see how close that OB runs. And they told me I can bail out to the right. The only thing I have to worry about is those yellow bushes, but it's not a huge problem to miss to the right. So I pretty much aimed at the left center and tried to play for a pretty big fade, and if it sliced, so be it. And that's kind of what it did. But they said there was a lot of room out there. Now, to be clear, in the British Open, I mean, you're not going to be able to get away with this. They'll let this grass grow probably up to the knees at least. You will not get away with that kind of stuff. So don't be fooled. If the British Open was being held at this time, I would be getting slaughtered right now probably. And I would certainly be playing this course a lot differently. I'd probably be hitting irons up every fairway and just try to keep the ball on that fairway and hit the center of the green. And if I can get a birdie somewhere here and there, I'd take it. But hey, when it's when they give you a little bit of a easier day, you want to take it as much as you can. So got about 4 feet here for par. Definitely haven't done well with that where I left my drive to have a par putt from any considerable distance, and very poor putt. Just again a misread, and it's something that I'm going to continue working with my coach on, especially with aim point. I learned it early on when I was young, and I just got to really reacclimate myself to it. But yeah, guys, this really was just an absolute beautiful course, and this was playing straight downwind, so this is going to be a pretty crazy club you're going to see here. So 164, I'm going to hit a pitching wedge. And this is a very tiny green too. And this shot was right at it. Never left the flag stick. I was posing on it, and it takes one huge hop on the back edge and just kicks over the green. And I was pretty like disappointed because I thought I was going to be like a foot away. But that's links golf. And so that's where it is. It landed on the green, like right just past the pin. But you guys can see that flag, how downwind it is. So I'm chipping back into the wind. And in retrospect, the play here would either have been to putt it or bounce a pitching wedge into the green, into that like slope instead of hit a lob wedge. Because what happened was I hit the shot I wanted to, but that wind ate the ball up and left me with about a 12-footer. And I know you guys want to know just how windy it was. So you will find out how windy it is in about, I would say, 7 to 10 seconds. So this is the putt, and there goes the camera. And I obviously left it short and tapped in for a bogey. But yeah, when the wind's blowing the tripod over, that's how you know it's blowing. So hole 9, this is actually a drivable hole because the wind was straight down, so I decided to just roast the driver. It gets a little tight, but I felt like I was hitting my driver where I wanted to, and I hit a really good tee shot here, probably my best shot of the front 9 in terms of, tee shots. And it flew the pot bunkers and chased all the way into the pot bunker on the green side. My first pot bunker, and I was actually like, yay, I finally hit a pot bunker because I wanted to hit one in there just so I could experience it. So that was a really good drive, probably 400 yards, maybe a little north of that. And I was told to not try to spin it. When you're in these pot bunkers, I was told they're really thick, heavy, and wet sand, so you got to play a chunk and run. So I kind of tried to just splash it out and let it chase and hit the exact shot I wanted. You guys can see it trot out pretty nicely. So I was very happy with the shot. And so I have about 5-6 feet left for birdie. So pretty happy with where I left myself here. And I will roll that in to shoot even on the front. And that was truly a treat. Stay tuned for the back 9, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Huge shout out again to Tom Phillips and Carnoustie Golf Links. And I will see you guys next time.